All right. We are back. Hope everyone's well. Johnny, how are you? Good?
Good.
Good? Feeling good?
Yeah.
Feeling better?
Yeah.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
We have a real special guest. It's been a while.
Yes.
It's been a long while. Mr. Alex Canion, how you doing?
Yes, great.
Good?
Hello.
Good?
Welcome.
You look well, man.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Lovely to be back.
How long has it been?
It has been 7 years?
Since the first one?
No, since the second one.
The second one,
It's
okay.
been 9 years since the first episode, hasn't it?
I think it has.
2012?
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
Episode 1 of Mission Control, for people that don't know, was Alex Canion and Scott K as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then I came on again in 2014. And so nothing's really happened in that time. I've got nothing really.
And that's about it. Yeah, all right.
Basically just
Cool.
chilling out, you know.
Chilling out?
Yeah. Chilling out, losing hair.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
It's beautiful. It's liberating, right?
It is.
Yeah. I can't stand having hair.
It's, I can put the beanie on and then take it off and my head looks the same, mostly. Unless it's too tight. Yeah.
Yeah, look like you're going to rob a museum or something, both of you, before. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, with the beanies.
With
the
the
beanie
beanies,
brigade,
yeah.
the beanie army.
Yep.
Not the Gothic army anymore.
The Gothic Army. You were going to chime in with something. What?
I was just going to say, can you give me a brief of that first episode? Because I wasn't there.
I actually re-listened to it last week and I didn't think you were there. And I was like, when's Johnny going to chime in? Maybe this is kind of like a shove him off to the side type scenario.
No, I think that there was something where you physically weren't there. You were either working or down south.
I think I was up north working.
You're doing
at the time,
something.
yeah.
Doing something, yeah.
I love that I was on the first episode of your podcast and you weren't.
No, I feel honoured that you were on the first one as well. So it's
Where did we actually we recorded it at your place, didn't we?
Yeah. Yep. In Canning Vale. That was like the I think that was 50 or so episodes was in my parents' place. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that was before anyone. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. I don't think podcasts were that big back then. I don't think. Very, very small amount of
Very
people.
small. Yeah.
Real small amount of people. I would even say it's still quite small in Australia, but getting better.
it's picking up. It is picking up.
Picking
yeah.
up. A lot of people we know are starting podcasts. It's well, it's time to be alive. I was gonna name drop all of your bands, but there's a fuck ton of them, so I don't know where to start. So what are you doing now? You've got 2 or 3 things on the go?
Yeah, so Voyager is still very much a go. And as far as bands go, that's the kind of only really original band that I'm kind of in at the moment that's doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I play in a duo with the drummer from Voyager, Ashley Dudecourt, the drummer from Will Stoke and the Ambers, the Floors, what else? Loads of other things over the years. Pyromesh, he was in Pyromesh back in the day.
Awesome drummer.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So me and him have a little covers duo called Fhloston Paradise. And yeah, we do pubs around the place for some coin, which is really good fun. And then I'm in another band called the Healys, which is me and 2 brothers, Alan and Gavin Healy. And they've been playing covers for 25 years. They've been doing gigs for 25 years around Perth and Ireland and stuff. And so I kind of do the same venues with them as well and just kind of alternating weeks.
That's cool.
So loads and I'm racking up at this point.
Lots of stage time, right?
I was trying to figure it out. In my life, I think I'm closing in on at least 450 gigs. I think ever.
It's a lot of gigs.
Possibly more.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought, I've easily done 1,000 gigs, but a gig feels like there's a lot more.
You always feel like you played more gigs. Is that a thing with you?
Big time.
Because I used to throw out numbers I played
50 gigs.
hundreds of gigs. And it's not really. It's probably 30, 50, but it seems like hundreds, right?
Yeah, they're stretched out over a long period of time.
Yeah. There's a lot of waiting.
Well, I'm convinced that I've played more gigs than I remember. So
yeah,
there's some gigs I just don't remember playing.
How many gigs have you been to?
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
That's
I couldn't count that one.
It's unreal, isn't it? And the thing is, I feel like I'm playing every weekend, and I mostly am. But there are, my buddy Nathan Gaunt, who's been playing solo for 20 plus years. He amasses almost like 200 gigs a year,
Crazy.
like every year for the last 15 years or something like that. It's just nuts.
I remember Nathan Gott. Yeah. Especially if you're solo like that, it's really easy to play anywhere, right?
Well, if you're doing solo gigs and you're doing like 4 gigs every weekend, it's easy to rack them up. But yeah, I mean, I underestimated how many gigs Seraphim did. I found a list. Bless me, in my teenage years, I was so into gigs and just like loved everything about it that I think I have even given you that file.
Yeah.
But I've listed.
I got the documents.
You've got the disc. So there's a Word document in there that outlines 29 gigs that we played.
Right. You mean just like a list of ones that we played?
Yeah.
Like the venue and the date and all that?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And there's I think before you joined, there's only a handful, but we did maybe 30, probably 35 gigs in total. Yeah. I thought that was way less than that, but it was so long ago.
Wow. Yeah, it seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Weird.
Yeah.
So weird, yeah. So for people that don't know, Alex and I have played, I think that's the only band that we've really played in, right? There was nothing else other than that?
Officially.
Yeah, officially.
You were doing a project ages called Greyland.
Yeah,
Greyland?
Greyland, yeah. That was with the singer of Seraphim, Hannah, yeah.
Yeah, Hannah.
Yeah.
And I think the closest we ever got to that was me coming around and just, I was going to do live bass or do something with it.
Yeah,
I really loved those songs.
Well, in my head, I wanted just something that was purely production.
Yeah.
You know, and it didn't have to be live.
Yeah.
But it was purely just painting.
Yeah.
In production work. Yeah.
For me, that was I really connected with that music that you'd written because it was like Massive Attack. Yeah. I don't know if do you remember it? Do you remember any of the songs?
I do remember it. Yeah. I do remember programming it on old Fruity Loops and putting it into Cool with it. I didn't know what I was doing. It was all really lo-fi, but it kind of gave it a bit of character because sometimes I go back and listen to old stuff, and sometimes when it's kind of shit, it's kind of good.
It is.
Do you know what I mean? Lo-fi, and you're not thinking so much about production value. You're just kind of expressing and painting and making stuff, you know?
So I've got so many old pixelated, shitty quality photos from those days, and we had old shitty mobile phones.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, well, Johnny was around for a lot of that.
You were.
You helped out a lot. You helped set up, and you were just hanging around, and it's always cool. It's like a cheer squad. You know what I mean? Just having people around.
It's so valuable to have just an extra pair of hands and just someone that brings enthusiasm and just just good vibes. That it's funny, isn't it? Because you and I have known each other as long as Daryl and I have known each other as well. Yeah. And it's kind of I've never ever played in a band with you.
Yeah, probably a good reason for that.
Well, I remember watching you play with your bands as well, and us sharing bills sometimes. It would be just kind of being in each other's surroundings.
Yeah, it was always that sort of community we always had, and that's what I always loved. There was that sort of tight community of all those bands playing. Yeah. The Soundworks days as well and things like that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
Even this place, VHS, when it used to be a complete dump.
Yeah, We've seen a lot of history, I think. I mean, we were all in our little niche bubbles, but I think that I look back at those days very much as the golden years of just getting out and playing and not giving a fuck, not worrying about things like social media or whatever. You just go out and you play. Yeah. You're not so worried about...
What was it? The struggle to get the ad in the Xpress Magazine.
Yeah.
And get the gig list in the Xpress Magazine. That was the worry. None of this social media, try and get it up on Instagram sort of shit.
I know. Yeah, it was so raw back then. It was just
as long as Mike Rafter from Express liked you, that's kind of what
Mike Wafer?
Mike Wafer, sorry, not Rafter. Yeah.
Pat Rafter. No, Mike Wafer. Yeah, if you got a review in the Express, I used to cut them out.
Yeah, me too.
You've got a little file? Everyone's got their little file, right? Yeah.
I've got a clipping of me as a child in Express as a clothes model. How weird is that? Yeah.
For what brand?
Hideous Clothing, it was called.
No, you're fucking with me.
No, and I'm 4 years old in the Express.
And the label was called Hideous Clothing.
Yeah, the label was called Hideous. Yeah.
Okay.
And I would have obviously you're still working for them.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, low blow. Kitty likes to scratch.
I've never heard of Healys.
I think they went under in 1994. You know, when I did the photo shoot. No, 1992 maybe.
Yeah, right.
It was peak.
What was the photo like? Were you like?
I was in a. It kind of looked like a prison kind of pajama, like black and white
Overalls.
No, not overalls. No, like kind of like a shirt and shorts, but they were black and white stripes.
Oh, very convict looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like with this other girl who apparently at the time I had a massive crush on, and she had this beautiful early 90s like big like. You know, like past shoulder length blonde hair that was all kind of sweeped over. Kind of looked like James LeBrie's hair from Dream Theater. Do you know? Weird reference?
That was a very specific reference.
Yeah.
I had to go through
That's
the
the only
Rolodex
thing-
in my head of like images of guys with long.
That's the only thing I could think of. And I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure, she's wearing like she's, I don't know what she's wearing, but I actually remember the photo shoot.
Wow.
It was somewhere on Railway Parade, I'm pretty sure.
No shit.
In Leaderville. Yeah, my memories go back pretty far, but I like the Xpress memories and the clippings and even just the list. It's like, oh my god, my band's in Express, just showing where
I
we're
used to
gonna play.
run to like whatever outlet that I was closest and like sometimes it'd be fresh. Like I'd cut open the stack.
Oh, the stack.
and
Yeah.
Pull it out and get a really fresh one. Then I'd
Yeah.
get a couple for later and then get another one for mum and dad, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's so cool.
So wholesome, huh?
I've got ones of us in there as
Yeah?
well.
Yeah. There are a couple, man. There are a couple.
Yeah. And Perth bands.
I've got. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Perth bands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perth bands and Westernfront.
Yes, I was about to say Westernfront. Yeah.
I didn't feel brave enough to go on Westernfront.
Yeah.
Like I was an observer of Westernfront, but I was
A lurker.
yeah, I was lurking on Westernfront, but I was on Perth bands.
It was a pretty hectic place
Yeah.
to grow up. I mean, I would check Westernfront when I was in school, like year 10 through to year 12. I'd be on Perth bands and Westernfront. When I was at a class with a computer, because Seraphim would load Roland and Joe and all the other guitarists and stuff would post stuff up on Perth bands, and it'd be like, oh wow, I get to see what people think of the band. And
Yeah, I think I started a few wars on that. I think.
Yeah.
I know. We were all kind of. I was definitely a meathead back then, but yeah, no, I got into big trouble. I think that's probably why when I think of Perth bands, I have a bit of PTSD associated with it because I do remember getting into trouble, kind of slagging out a band.
Was it Hammersack?
I can't believe you remember that. Oh,
Hammersack will play.
What was the guy's name?
Zach Duran or Durkin or
Yeah. But I mean, no hard feelings.
No.
Those were all. That was hilarious. I can't believe you fucking remember.
yeah.
Hammersack.
I just remember as a meme.
Yeah.
You know, like a
Yep.
Perth music meme.
Oh man.
Meme.
I wrote after like one of those band competitions.
Yeah.
I had written a comment about a band called the DD Dums.
Okay.
Yeah, which was Kevin Parker.
Yep.
Right, which everyone knows Kevin.
He never
Parker.
recovered from whatever you
I
said
know.
about him.
He thinks about it to this day.
He wipes the tears away with money.
But no, shortly after he met me in the toilets and was like, "Hey man, it's not cool. You compared us to Led Zeppelin. You called us a Led Zeppelin cover band." And I was like, I felt at the time I didn't realize like you're a meathead. You just comment, right?
Yeah.
But then when you see the feedback of someone going, "Hey, that was not cool," at the time I didn't give a shit. But
So
now as I grow older, I look back and go, "Oh, that was not cool."
He
right
pulled
now.
you up on it, did he?
He did in the toilets, yes.
You know what? Like respect to him for doing that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like
Yeah, absolutely.
calling out bullshit is good. And
It's good.
And like I totally agree with that. If it's something that we don't know what goes on behind the scenes of other people's bands.
Absolutely, yeah.
I just know that the amount of effort and work goes into what I do and like what my band does. And if someone just, it's the same as like getting a review. It's like, oh, I don't like this new album because it's shit.
Yeah, 1 star.
Why?
Yeah.
Tell me why. I don't mind that you think it's shit,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
want to know why.
Yeah.
And it better be a good reason.
I think at the time I thought, that the sarcasm would translate, but it doesn't. Text is a very blunt thing, very
And it's
subjective
a
thing.
throwaway comment for everyone to see for all time.
Yeah.
So I try and stay out of those
I'm wondering,
Facebook.
is there like a mirror side of Perth bands that has has it archived or anything like that?
I don't know.
Do you know those internet archives where
It's
you can pull
called
up a
Wayback Machine or
Wayback
something?
Machine? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think over the years, something will pop into my head like, what was the name of that guy from Hammersack? And I'll try and uncover the archives and see.
My God.
If he's out there listening, get in touch with the show.
Yeah.
But see, like I actually made some really good connections through Perth band. That's how I met Mike Murphy.
Yeah.
I first met him and we met up at a gig and started to try and band together. And it was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So good things have come from that website.
Absolutely. Yeah. Meeting up with people. Definitely connecting for trying to find a band member or a replacement.
Buying drugs, committing crimes.
The community.
Yeah, I needed a getaway driver and I head to Perth bands. Some great connections were made.
People sold stuff on there, right? There was a marketplace as well there. You could sell sell stuff. Yeah, totally, man.
It was a good website.
It was good. Yeah.
And then, okay, so now that I'm talking to people that remember it, didn't it just kind of like website under construction and then it just never came back? Or it came back as a shell of its former glory and then everyone got fed up with it. Facebook came out and then it was like...
MySpace, Facebook came out.
Yeah, I think the forum platform just disappeared. Like, I don't know, do people still use forums on the internet anymore?
They do. I mean, Reddit's like a forum.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, forum-like structures, but maybe not the old traditional forums, I guess. I don't know. You know, that old style forum?
Yeah.
You got to register and make a username and all that shit.
Find a cool GIF as your avatar.
And if it was animated, you'd be cooler than other people.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Wow, memories. Yeah.
Memories.
What else is new, man? Anything else?
Yes. So I'm going to be releasing an EP. So
yes, your solo stuff.
my solo stuff.
Yes.
That I've had for a long time, and finally, it's going to be ready to release very soon.
Cool.
I think in the next couple of months. So
you've sat on it for a while.
Yeah, and it's taken a very, very long time to record. Like I started recording it in 2000 and I want to say like 18, 17. Demoed it 2016.
Right.
I listened back. It's kind of embarrassing, but also I want to bring it up because I want other people to hear that it takes a fucking egregious long time to do stuff sometimes, and that's okay. But on the podcast, the second time I was on this show was 2014, and I listened back to it and I was like, oh God, Alex, you fucking idiot. Because I was like, yeah, I'm going to have 2 EPs out by the end of the year. I was like...
I love when that happens. You call out your own bullshit. You're like, that didn't happen.
Well, you know what? Like, I haven't really beaten myself up about it, but it's just been a really long process, and so much of why it's taken so long is because of my own like kind of anxieties around it, and like I'm in between. Like, I know what's good and I know what's shit, and I really don't want it to be shit. I don't think it's shit. But also, like,
it's not shit. I've heard it.
If I don't, well, thanks. Yeah, like if I don't release it, then I can't have those icky feelings about it. But also, I need to release this. I need to get on with my life.
You've got to set it free. Got to set it free.
Yeah. My wife's sick of hearing about it. Like, mainly that's a big reason as well. It's like, Alex, can you just fucking release this thing? Yeah. So, so it's, I'm really, really happy. Like, I'm really happy with it. But, part of the reason it took so long is because, the guy that engineered it and recorded it with me, we worked together. So we'd spend, working full time together in a music shop and then recording it when we each had a chance and when, we could each be bothered. And it takes ages. And then it's like, oh, cool. Well, I got to go write with Voyager now. So put that on hold for 4 months. Got to go on tour, put it on hold. Yeah. COVID happens, life gets in the way. Yeah. And now it's finally ready, and I've just called in a lot of favors from really amazing people and friends that have helped me out with it.
So who are some of the features that you have? Like, I even heard a track with your grandfather on
my
there.
Granddad.
Yeah.
That's
really cool.
Yeah. I'm so glad that I got him to record. He's still alive. Which is awesome. But he's
beautiful voice, he's very operatic voice.
Yeah.
Really
so
cool.
he's my granddad Alan is 85 now. He recorded it last year, And when I wrote the song, like maybe 6 years ago or something, I was like, I should get him on there so I can immortalize him, because he's a barbershop singer. He's been singing with Men in Harmony for like the last 20 plus years. I sang with him doing barbershop for a little while, and it was really, really fun. And I was always like, it was one of those things where I'd go to bed at night thinking about the EP and the song, and I'd be like, oh God, I got to get him. I got to finally just record him doing it, you know? Mm. And he even said to me, he's like, am I still recording this song? Because you might want to do it before it's too late. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. What a better incentive.
Oh yeah. I was like, okay, I need to I need to fucking.
I was actually going to ask, it's like, was he willing to record, or do you have to sort of like drag him out of the house and say, come do it? Like,
no, I think he was really stoked that I asked him, and yeah, so he just, I mean, I had the song for a while, and I sent it to him, and I had this window of time, so I'm like, Granddad, can you come around tomorrow and do it? I'll send you the song now. And he just, my grandma's really computer literate. She's like 84, 83, and she's always on Facebook checking up stuff. And, she downloaded the file and gave it to him, and he learnt it, and then came around and recorded it to at my house the day after. And yeah, it's like kind of like talked him through how I wanted it and the phrasing and stuff. But I'm really, really pleased that he's on it, because one, for the song is almost about my childhood and how I have always viewed or imagined my life would play out. It's a little bit hard to explain without sounding really like kind of like a wanker or like or weird.
It's hard to talk about your own stuff, huh? It is. Yeah, it is. It really is. Like, I mean, for people that are listening, it is a hard thing to put yourself out there like that. It's very exposing.
It is. Yeah. The thing is, it's like I can articulate it with words and lyrics to a song or whatever, but really, like, what I'm trying to get across is an aura. It's the feeling of a memory that happened when I was a child, and it's like I can never ever express that in the way that it's going to be. Yeah. Unless like you smoke a bunch of DMT and like I walk you through it or something. There's no way you're gonna.
Yeah, well,
do you know what I mean?
Soon we'll just like strap some things to you, and your memory will like be rendered in the computer. That'd be cool.
But anyway, like what? I'm sorry, I was digressing too much. But the so having my granddad on it was really, really cool and very important for me, because he's like my hero, and having him immortalized in it is so cool. And I like being able to listen to the song now and think, oh, that's awesome. My granddad's on that, and while he is alive, no one lives forever, but while he's on the earth with us now, I can appreciate his art and his like craft as well. He's a better singer than me as well, which is like, he's got this beautiful vibrato. And the story is that he's basically playing the character of me at his age now, looking back, so the lyrics kind of detail that, but having his voice on there is really, it's important for me. I think it's one of those nice things to look back on. That's going to last forever.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
That's really cool. I think that's one of the most like empowering things, and one of the most like the greatest things that an artist can do is collaborate and get people's flavor in things. Yeah, and I think that's what even this is about, is like having these moments etched as like an archive. Yeah, and being able to flick through and see where you were at that time. It's always something about that I really think is really special. Yeah,
I agree. A lot of people don't feel that way. Some people are like, no, I don't care. Let's move forward, or let's stay in the present, or let's look forward to the future. But I blame my mum, I guess, because she was always like, oh, don't throw that toy away. Keep that so you can show your grandchildren. And now I've got so much stuff in storage,
hoarding shit now. Yeah.
I'm just like, I try to.
Thanks, Mum.
Yeah. But what's cool about that is that I do have stuff. Like, I've got the clipping of me and Xpress from when I'm like a kid. I didn't go, oh, that was cute. And now it's like, I'll every so often I'll go and rummage through those things and find these little gems that I'd completely forgotten about. Like, I've got a Kevin Sorbo Hercules action figure. Like, do you remember the show Hercules?
Hell yeah,
yes,
man.
I do. All right, what a random thing. Like, when do I ever think about that now as a 32-year-old?
He was a spunk as well.
Yeah, he was jacked.
What a man! He was fucking jacked.
And
beautiful hair.
And because I've kept this figurine that brought me so much joy as a kid, because I thought he was awesome. Him and Xena, I wanted to marry Xena and be like Hercules.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, so it was like, this is when I was 27. I still want to marry Lucy Lawless for sure. But having that action figure is so wild. Like just to pull that out, and weird toys that I had, and
things are cool, you know. And even as I get older now, I'm you know, really appreciating holding and smelling things. I got this notebook holder, and you know, it's just having this custom made. I thought was something really cool.
Yeah,
I'm getting old.
I like sentimental.
Sentiment. Yes, that's it. It's not getting old. Sorry, I should stop saying that, because it's more about sentimentality of holding something that was made. It's one of a kind.
You're appreciating it.
And I'll keep it forever. I'll try not to lose it, you know.
And that's a form of mindfulness as well, which is really nice. Yeah. Do you have your first mobile phone?
No. I don't.
We actually were going through. I've got a collection of old mobile phones at home, like from an old. It was a Sony Walkman 810, like this tiny little thing.
Nice.
And yeah,
isn't it?
I've got the box and everything.
Got the box.
No, I got
you got the receipt.
But it's just, I was just looking at it and going, "It's surprising we had that stuff."
It's cool. I've got my first Walkman. I got it for my birthday in 1996.
Holy shit!
And I've got the first tape that I got with it as well. My grandparents, same grandparents that I, was singing on the EP. And the first album that was ever given to me was In Trance. I think it's called Electronic Pleasure, something like that. Right. Had the Stayin' Alive remix on it. So weird.
Yeah.
But I was like, I've still got it, and it still works fine. And I just love that. Wow, it's like I'm holding something that was in my life a milestone. Like, who would have thought? Like, I would never have known that in 1996, I'm holding something that is going to be so responsible for my entire life panning out the way it has at the moment, which is dedicated almost entirely to music. And what an awesome gift that is. I don't have kids, but I'd like to have kids. And I'd really love to pinpoint that moment. Actually, I've got a cool story, because something like that has happened to me, whereby I've given something to someone. I gave my cousin the Skrillex, like, what was it called? Dirty Spirits, Nice Sprites, or whatever it is. You know, the big hit that he had. I gave it to her as a CD single, and she is a DJ now.
Wow.
She's pretty good. Win, W-Y-N, Win. She's got some really cool tracks. And she's like, oh yeah, like ever since you gave me that CD, that like got me into drum and bass. And
I can't believe it. The butterfly effect, right? And then
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
That I had just like a little impact of just showing, when your world just kind of goes, whoa, shit, this like, that's what it was like for me hearing metal for the first time, or like, yeah, it's just like the spark, boom, okay, life's different now. Yep.
Yeah. One thing, it totally flips your life upside down.
Yeah.
My parents have got like crates, like boxes down south of all of our childhood toys.
Nice.
And every time we go down there, we like every now and then we'll open it up and just go, holy shit, you've still got this, like old Ninja Turtle figurines and all the old VHS tapes, home movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I'm woo-woo as hell, and I think those objects actually have energy.
Yeah.
Over time. But it's not literal energy, but it's your projection into that.
Exactly.
Gives it the energy.
As you were saying, that you can look at an object and go, shit, like that. You can almost pinpoint the time that it meant something to you when you had it. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
For sure. Yeah. Gig posters. I tried to collect every gig poster.
Yeah, gig posters, yeah.
until they stopped kind of getting printed out. And then I just thought, I got to an age where I'm like, I'll just find it online sometime in the future. I can pretty much do it. But going through them, I've got like old gig posters from Black Betty's and the Castle. And
wow.
And I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like, this used to be in my wall, and I remember it being on the wall, and all the crazy shit that happened at that period of my life.
Yeah.
It's cool, man. It's like kind of what makes for someone like me that is like nostalgic and has that sentimentality kind of switch. It's kind of what makes life a little bit special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially
I think mine's getting more intense now.
Yeah, you feel that you want to look back more, or
no? I feel like I want. Yeah, I look back more, and I think I try and get things that mean things now.
Okay.
If that does that make sense?
Yeah.
You know, I don't buy things if they're frivolous. I buy things that are meaningful, like shiny rocks and shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
But I've had to cut back on, because I've got lots of little things around that place that I've always collected, and I've gotten to the point where I feel like I've got too much stuff, too many little trinkets around, and I always break or lose them.
You start hoarding.
So
after a
then,
while.
but it's awesome. So you have to start selecting like which are the real important things, and sort of try and get rid of some of the older stuff that don't have that same value. Then I just give it to my parents, and they go dump it in the box. And
Did you guys watch that show, or did you know anything about Marie Kondo at all?
Yeah, about decluttering.
Yeah.
Living minimal and that whole thing, yeah.
Well, I think there's like, living like life like a minimalist, which I think is awesome. I don't think it's for me. I don't think I could probably do it, but
I've tried that.
Have you?
It doesn't work. Not for me.
Yeah. But the one thing from like Marie Kondo that I kind of took away, other than like folding and organizing my clothes, which has been really cool. God, I'm so old, so lame. I used to be cool, kids.
Wait, you
get any cocaine we can do while I'm talking about
this?
You
fold your clothes?
Yeah.
What a pussy! Oh, he folds his clothes. Yeah,
I don't want my wife to yell at me, guys.
Oh my god. No,
yeah. But it's the thanking stuff and being okay with letting it go.
Yeah.
You know, like if you accumulate a bunch of stuff that you're like, oh, I want to hold on to that because, you know, and then you like think about it. No, I'm never going to do anything with this again.
Yeah.
If you treat that object as if it's a friend,
say
thank you for your service, and then
exactly, yeah. And I think
move it on.
I think most artists or creative people have really cluttered minds. So I think like decluttering physically helps you declutter mentally as well. Because I'll have shit all over the table within 2 days. There's just shit everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and like I have to force myself to, you know, declutter, and it helps. You know, when you don't see mess, you think clearer. You're not like, there's nothing worse than looking at things that need to be cleaned. You know that feeling? Like, oh fuck, I gotta clean that, and oh god, I gotta clean that. So yeah, sometimes I'm just like, look, do I need it? If not, just fucking get rid of it.
Yeah.
And otherwise, it's just gonna sit there, accumulating dust.
It's amazing. You know? Just doing that stuff has really actually turned my life around.
It makes you more efficient. It changes your whole outlook, I think, when you declutter.
My wife is really like into cleanliness and just order.
That's good. That's
I'm
awesome.
not.
Yeah.
You know, like
that's good though. You guys complement each other.
We're a great example of type like A and B personalities. You know, like where I'm like a real dreamer and like, oh, you know, like I wouldn't think about bills or whatever. I'll be like, oh man, if I was to make a movie, like who could I get to, you know? And she's like, but then like we even each other out, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
But she's like, you know, nothing will whip you into shape like your significant other, like wanting to keep them happy. And, you know, because when your house is in order and everything's clean, when you both come home at the end of the day and it's like, this is awesome. Instead of, oh God, like, you know, the bed looks fucked up. There's crumbs all over the counter. There's dishes piled up.
I know.
It's a nightmare. And you can actually just think and it's sort of like exist better.
Yeah.
And it's worth the 5 minutes just spending like whipping it up.
You've got all that room to make another mess. Yeah.
I mean, I guess you do. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. No, it's. I think if both people in the relationship are too similar, it can work.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it can't work. It can work, but I you need someone to kind of you know, be the yin to the yang sometimes. If both people are airy fairy, it doesn't work. But then you get relationships where both people are the control freaks. That doesn't work either. You know, you gotta kind of balance it out. You know,
I reckon like the key to like, I mean, me and my wife are like talk about it a lot. Is that so much of the success that we've had in our relationship has been just being honest with each other. Number one, and two, communicating, like just being really upfront with your expectations, so that then when they're not met, it's not like hell to pay.
Yeah.
But like the ego is so strong. Hey, it's like when you can't, some people just cannot apologize. They can't like if they've fucked up, they won't admit that at all. It's like, that's the last thing they can do. And it's really poison. poisonous, I think. Like,
Yeah. The other end of the spectrum is you also get like you're too apologetic. You're too unsure. And that becomes toxic as well. You have no.
I've been there.
You have no confidence. You're sorry for everything. It's always your fault. I think that's always.
You've got no assertiveness.
Yeah. Definitely.
You're a level of what is it? Agreeability.
Exactly.
Is
Yeah.
It's too high. Yeah.
Are you a top or a bottom? Yeah, I mean, like, I've been both. I've seen myself come in and
Top
out
and
of
a
both.
bottom. My man. Equal opportunities.
No, I mean, I've been the control freak and I've been the whatever, you know.
Okay,
the
yeah.
easy. Yeah, I've been both. Yeah, I'm a very extreme person. Like, I'm very intense to be around long term.
Are you?
I think I am. Yeah.
Yes, I can. Attest
Can you?
to that,
I mean,
yeah.
I've spent a lot of time with you, but only in like short bursts, I guess.
Yeah.
I haven't. You know what? Like touring is a really great way to see how someone really is.
You meet the real person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're fucking tired and shitty, and you've been like
Yes.
flying lots, and you're not in your own bed, and you're, you know, like thankfully, like I can say this like hand on heart, like with Voyager, it's great. Like we've never. There's actually never been any like explosiveness, at least not with the current lineup that it's been. And that's
you guys are professionals, though.
Well,
Every single one of you in that band is like worthy of their own band, like that sort of thing, you know.
I think so, like humbly, and that's really nice of you to say.
No, for real. Like you're all super professional. I've seen how you guys like set up and work. Remember that time what was it, Deftones? You guys supported Deftones, right?
Yeah.
In Melbourne, yeah.
Festival Hall, baby.
Yeah, that
oh
was
my
right.
god.
Yeah, me and Hannah went to that. That was one of the best fucking shows ever. I got lit that night.
Yeah, and we had that that chicken palmy beforehand. I remember that one.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, I do remember. Oh my god. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Man, isn't that wild? Like playing that stage, supporting. For those that are listening, we supported the Deftones on their Australian tour with Karnivool. It was 2016, I think. And playing with Deftones is like you've got the biggest venues that Australia has to offer, pretty much. And that in Melbourne, it was Festival Hall. The Beatles played there back in the 60s.
Crazy. I can't believe. I just can't believe it.
Yeah. It's a huge, huge venue.
I can't convey how special that night was. That was a really cool night. I was just really proud of you guys and seeing like 2 Perth bands in Melbourne.
Yeah, and Karnivool as well.
Supporting 2 Perth bands, supporting one of my probably the top 3 bands of all time for me.
Yeah.
The Deftones. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a huge fan, hey?
Yeah, love it, man.
Yeah,
I love that Latino rock and roll, baby. I love it.
I like.
I love it all.
I love like
the whole era. I love it.
They're lovely people. But I don't get the Deftones at all.
I know you were saying that.
I have.
Yeah.
I'm like I watch it. And I'm like I don't. If this was around now, no one would care about it. I don't think. It's so weird.
If
it's
just
so
came out,
weird.
I think I agree. No, I agree. If it just came out, I think they'd be one of those bands that would have a very niche audience. Like,
yeah.
But
I guess you could say that about any large band now.
Yeah.
Same with
say
Korn.
Like their first couple of albums didn't really kick off as heavy, did they? Like as big.
Deftones?
As big.
Wasn't it like only after the second or third album they really picked up? I can't.
But they've always been like kind of on the outside doing their own thing. Like
yeah, they have.
Yeah, they've never been like that big spotlight.
Exactly.
Big mainstream.
They had like what I would call like a cult following. Like they weren't. But then they were
it's
kind
a
of
huge,
on
man.
In MTV. They were kind of mainstream. They were getting
Yeah.
Grammys and shit. So like I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Like,
were,
I don't know.
In California, they're fucking huge.
San Diego,
Like-
where they're from. Yeah, in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, like, you know, like the Diaz brothers, the UFC fighters, like they hang out with Chino and
Chino
stuff,
and
and
stuff,
it's
yeah.
like, yeah, you're right. They've got this massive cult following, but I don't know whether it's just they're the other side of the coin, and you know, like their heads and Korn is tails, and I'm like, I was always heavily into Korn, like Korn are like.
Korn were my favorite as well. Yeah, definitely.
And it's like that maybe they're just, you know, and like Limp Bizkit, I never really hit it off with them.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah, and I totally respect that. Like, but that goes to show, like, for the ones that they do appeal to, like, it's an obsession.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I love that. There's something about the
People were
melodies
going
and
nuts.
stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're like, if anyone was at that show, it was fucking wild. And like they put on an amazing show. Like, and they're really like a really, really good band.
Mhm.
Like they were awesome live. I'm just saying, I just don't. I can't latch onto it. And you know what? I think it is. It's because they're not. Chino's vocals and his singing is so just out there and weird, and it's not the most like it's not like melodic how I like. He makes all the choices that I wouldn't make if I was him. I was like, I just don't get. What
I totally understand what you mean. Yeah. He's so. I would even put him more in alignment with like modern, like what rappers are doing, where they are just expressing through the mic. They're not really looking at replicating exactly the recording. Yeah, like, I think a lot of rappers do that, and I think there's a charm in there that I kind of like, but I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's very almost like inconsistent sometimes. It's like
it's just his uniqueness.
Yeah, it really is.
So like I couldn't even imagine anyone trying to do a Deftones cover band and trying to nail Chino's vocals. Like there's some bands that you can kind of get away with as they have such a sort of kind of generic, but yeah.
I see what you mean. I think they could replicate the notes, but that texture of Chino is really...
The music is one thing, but Chino himself, like those vocals just... Oh.
And also he's got the X factor.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we toured with him, you know, like, this is some of the cool rock star shit that I just wish that I could get Voyager to, like, be able to do, or you know, being in a band, you know, like, for example, they brought with them, like, these giant rugs. Like, imagine having a budget to ship with you these backline hired rugs from San Diego or LA or wherever.
With that kind of Persian pattern, right?
Yeah. They're like Persian rugs. They're probably not Persian rugs, but they're enormous. They're enormous Persian rugs.
Enormous.
Neil Young, we had to roll out all the rugs out on the big day out stage for Neil Young. I remember that.
Yeah. I mean, that's just such an awesome little thing and aesthetic that looks awesome, but is so prohibitively expensive for a touring band. Chino brought with him a road bike, like, so he would just like they'd rock up into town, he'd get his bike and just cycle around. It's like a huge thing like that, and you know, like we're reducing the size of our amplifiers in order to be able to tour with them. It's like, it's unreal. Like, it's so, and what they've got is so cool. One of their coolest things, like, you've probably seen this working like backline and backstage and all this stuff, is like the room that they get. Like, they had a guy set up a backstage room for them that looked the same all the time. Yeah. So they felt at home. You know, they'd have like posters and stuff on the wall. They had a huge like stereo system that they would tour with. They had like the same coffee table.
Yeah.
It was so
I see
cool.
what you mean, like being able to peer into that other side of the spectrum where they can afford those luxuries.
Pre 2000s fame.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they can just like bring themselves, or like bring their living room with them. Yeah. On tour.
Yeah. Like humidifiers.
And it's no biggie.
Shit like that. You know, one of my favorite websites was a site that collected like all the band writers.
Oh yeah,
that artists would ask for.
Yeah.
And you see like some of the ridiculous shit, like humidifiers in the backstage room, so it's the right temperature and shit. Insane. The right lighting, the right dye,
that seems,
everything.
Stuff like that seems ridiculous until you have to start singing.
Yeah, I totally get it.
You know, like if like even my voice, like for some reason it feels a little bit hoarse right now, and I haven't really done all that much talking today. But when you're like,
sounds sexy as fuck, man.
Thanks, man. When you're going from like airport to airport, especially in Australia, right, or in the tour bus, outside of the tour bus, running around doing interviews and stuff, and it's like you're expected to perform, right? And then it's like, okay, well, in order for me to perform like this, I need to have certain creature comforts or certain things like an air humidifier, or I need some tea, like a tea station. You know, and then
I get that.
If you're off your game, people will judge you really harshly for it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And at the same time, if you're great and you've got all this shit back there, they think you're a wanker because you've requested all this rock star shit, you know?
Well, the time I met Axl Rose was because we were trying to get the exercise bed out of the green room.
Exercise bed?
Like a whole exercise bed. He had a whole like gym type setup.
No
oh my God.
shit.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's crazy.
Sometimes, you know, like the Rolling Stones, they did the Skittles or whatever, and that's just to show that they're paying attention.
Yeah.
Because if that stuff was there, they could just look at eyeball and be like, all right, cool. The rest of the stuff is probably taken care of.
Mm.
It's pretty wild though.
I've seen many wild things come out of the back of semi-trailers at gigs. A sheep, like not a live sheep. It was who was that for? That was Gwen Stefani. They just had this sheep that toured with them. It's like this
like a lucky sheep, like a
mascot.
Yeah, like a mascot.
Yeah, like a mascot
exactly.
thing.
Yeah.
That was just I don't know what it was made out of, wood or something, but a sheep, and it was painted up green, had a cigarette in its mouth, and it was just in the back of a semi-trailer, and it just went everywhere on tour with them.
Client liaison do that. Like they've got road cases filled with water coolers and ferns and desks and like fax machines and stuff. Like so cool. I think that's awesome.
Who was it? It might have been Megadeth, but on the side of stage in Guitar Tech World.
Was this when they played Metro's Perth?
No, this is Challenge Stadium.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They had this touring couch with them. The Guitar Techs. It wasn't Megadeth, it was the Guitar Techs, and it was like leather sofa that had all the Guitar Tech cabinets and stuff built into the side of it.
Oh.
And also there was a PlayStation in the side of it with all the controls, all these drink holders. So when they weren't doing their Guitar Tech stuff, they'd sit down on the couch with all this shit. Yeah, I've got a photo of that somewhere as well. Just some of the shit you see.
So cool, hey? Yeah. There's some amazing stuff out there. And when you see stuff like that, like you just think, wow, who designed this? Like who thought of this? And who built it?
Yeah.
And where can I get one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest things when you're on tour with a band is seeing how they operate. I love it.
Me too.
Yeah, and I love seeing like just crew members work. I get off on that.
Yeah.
And especially when they're really good at it.
You slave driver. I love watching other people work really hard.
No, I don't think the production crew get enough of a shout.
No way. No way.
I mean, it's
because they're there before anything, and then they're like slogging it, trying to get it down in time and loading it into trucks. I mean,
how good is the feeling of having a great sound guy that is like talking to you, that is accommodating. I mean, I know it's a hard job. I'm not saying they all have to be that way, but when you like luck out and you find one that's amazing, how good does that feel? You feel like you're in safe hands, right? When the sound guy is good.
That's
right?
kind of like one of the best things about going on tour with Voyager is that we can take our sound guy, Aiden.
Oh, la-di-da. Yeah, cool. But Aiden's great, right?
Aiden's awesome.
He worked was it, no,
We're talking Aiden Barton?
Yeah.
Aiden Barton.
Okay.
Sovereign Studios,
That's
Pathogen.
Pathogen, yes.
He's done so much, and he's such a talented and like gifted live audio engineer.
Yep.
Or sound guy. We talk about how like you just say, a sound guy, but he's like what he does is it's like imagine going to anywhere else in the world using a different sound desk each time and just being expected to get fucking awesome sound.
It's a hard fucking job, man.
Yeah.
Fucking hard. Yeah.
But what's
sorry, yeah.
No? I was gonna say what's cool though is like when
that was you, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm hearing voices. Sorry, guys.
We all look the same. Yeah. Like when you get into a long tour where there's show after show after show, you get into this rhythm and you don't even need to say anything. Yeah. It's like he'll know whether something's pissing us off.
When it's like that well-oiled machine.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's got their game face on. I love it. It is
so
like,
good.
It's like showtime. It's when it's showtime and everyone clicks into showtime mode. Yeah. And everything just works. It's a magical feeling.
Any performing or anything like that is so cool, and it's everyone coming together to create something for the audience.
Yep.
And it's not about ego. Sometimes for some people maybe it is. Like Axl Rose, it's probably about his ego. Like making people wait for like hours on end and
that's not cool.
Just pissing off your fan base. It seems so weird.
Yeah.
To be in that headspace where you're like, kind of resent your own audience. It's a little bit kind of like it's a weird. I don't know. I can't relate to it, but
yeah, I have a even bigger respect for sound guys that can tour manage as well, and they're doing both.
Oh,
you ever run into that where they're a tour manager and the sound guy
for sure.
So they're like dealing with merch, dealing with ticket sales, liaising with the manager. Then they go do sound. Then they get the band ready, and they're doing all of that shit.
Fuck that.
That's fucking insane.
It's like
it's insane.
It's so entrepreneurial and crafty and amazing.
Yeah.
But what a fucking job. Like, I mean, when you know what is sad is that the point where these people have to do that in order to get paid properly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I'm around and doing all this stuff anyway. Like, I may as well drive the tour bus, tour manage the thing, be the sound guy. We've been on tour with all those kind of people like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Didn't you have? Was it Mark McEwan that did that?
I was literally gonna shout out Mark McEwan because he's one of those guys that is one of those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're literally a therapist. Like in the downtime, they become like that. Mark McEwan is one of my probably my favorite. One of my favorite. I can't decide whether he's one of my favorites or the favorite.
The favorite.
I'm going to say the favorite sound guy.
No,
yeah.
Mark's amazing.
He's a sweetie pie.
He's a great dude.
And when you get along with him, when I can like sit down and eat with him after a show and just hang out with him, and I want to be around them, that's something really special. I think, you know.
Yeah.
But have you ever had the stage panic set in, where you've got like some feedback going and you can't work out where it's coming from? And then you look over at the sound guy and they're like panicking, like they can't work out where it's coming from. And the next thing you know, it just all turns to shit. And you gotta. I've had that twice.
We kind of play tricks on Aiden sometimes. Like, you know, all right, test your vocals, and we're like, woo. And he's like looking at his iPad at the desk, like, what the fuck was that? No, we're just fucking with you. How to piss off a sound guy.
Yeah. I tell you how you piss off a sound guy as well. When they say play a beat, just don't do a solo.
Yeah.
Do you know those drummers that with the sound guys like just play a beat and then like they do like a 5-minute solo.
Yeah. Or like a quick sound check and you play a whole song.
Yeah. Or can you just test your bass? And you go, and then the sound guy goes, is that actually how loud you're going to play? Oh, sorry. Go. I was like, okay, it's night and day. Yeah.
I was always the culprit of get the sound check right. The sound guy's okay, cool, go. Turn the amp up just a little bit more.
Yeah.
No, see, that fucks everything up. No, I used to see sound guys like afraid because I used to have my foldback so loud, probably unhealthily loud, because I like to feel everything. I'd have my own kick and everything coming through the foldback. I wanted
get a sub kick, that like the
no.
under seat subwoofer
that helps a lot. Yeah,
it gives you hemorrhoids every time you hit that.
But no, I reckon I destroyed my hearing a lot in my younger days. Now I'm trying to ease back on it, but I wanted to hear everything. Yeah,
I was going to ask, do you have any hearing issues?
Yeah, how are you? Do you have tinnitus or anything?
What? No, I don't. I've had the card of an audiologist that is nearby me, though. I'm gonna go get a checkup, boys. Yeah. Because I do gigs a lot. I kind of only use in-ears now, but it's still quite loud. And I've been, when I lay down at night to sleep and I hear this kind of like, this kind of weird,
Scratchy.
it's not a ringing. It's kind of like, do you know when you yawn really big and you hear this kind of
the crackling?
It's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. I don't think it's tinnitus. I think I would know if I had.
How does it go?
It's kind of like that.
Yeah, like that little pop when you stretch, right?
It's not a pop though. It's just like a constant.
Well, I can. So because I've had I've got tinnitus.
Okay.
I visit the Lions Hearing Institute quite a bit. So I've got full tinnitus. I haven't lost any hearing.
Is it like that?
24/7.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So I'm terrified of getting that.
But also, because I've actually had some ear problems since I was a kid.
Okay.
You can sometimes get this crackling sound. It's going to sound disgusting to listeners, but it's dead skin inside of the ear.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So every now and then I go and get my ears cleaned out. With a nice big syringe of warm water.
That's heaven.
That feeling is fucking amazing.
I call it the brain enema.
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like, right?
Do you guys clean your ears with like Q-tips?
No. I heard that's not that great, right?
Yeah, I heard that my whole life and it hasn't stopped me. I have zero regrets.
I've done it before and you get it to a certain point and you just want to, there's something inside of you that just wants to stick it deeper. Do you get that?
No, because I've done that and it hurts bad. It hurts big time.
It's even worse when you like plug up even more wax into your eardrum.
See, people always say that and I don't call me crazy. People listening out there, if you've got the right technique, it's fine.
Okay.
And my suggestion for one of life's little pleasures, that you can get like a natural high, is you get 2 Q-tips and you go in stereo. None of this one ear at a time bullshit. You want both of them, right? And you get right in there. And then you've got this stereo image of your ear canals and you can clean them better.
Do you do the twist?
You twist.
Oh, you do the twizzle.
You get a twist, scoop,
Twizzle.
twist, scoop,
You
and
do
get
the
out of there.
twist as
And get out of there.
well?
Yep.
Yeah.
God.
It's heaven.
No, I'm always paranoid of like shoving more shit in there and then getting an infection or something. You know
I
what
shoved
I
a
mean?
lot. I did that. I got, oh man.
I shot a lot of. Oh God! I put a lot of things in my body.
You know, like I've had to get an ear flush out, and then there's like a rolled up piece of toilet paper that I've jammed in there because this is going to gigs that are so loud, and
there's
it's
like a whole
Yeah.
chicken wing.
I'm like,
like,
oh my god, this gig.
there's
Food
food in there.
Nando's. There's a chicken supreme burger in there. Oh man. Yeah, and then one time at Amps, I had one of those little foamies, and I ripped in half, and I just stuck it in there. And I'm pretty sure I was quite drunk at the time, and it eventually worked its way right in. So the bouncers at Amps have been like sitting down, and they're getting like keys and stuff to try and like pincer it out of my ear. Eventually, just went to the hospital.
Damn.
It felt so good getting taken out. It was almost worth it.
Oh my!
Am I
goodness.
sick?
No, not at all. By the way, you introduced me to my first Guinness.
Yes.
Thank you for doing that.
No worries. It's the Guinness Extra Stout.
Okay.
Which is less milky, less creamy than the
Okay.
draft.
I've never tried Guinness. I've always gone for beer.
I like almost live in Irish pubs now,
Okay.
and my father-in-law's an
You're that
Irish
guy.
publican,
Okay.
so
right.
it's like Guinness is just it's a part of who I am these days.
Is it actually the true thing about Guinness that the bubbles go down?
I'm just trying to think about it because when you watch it get poured from a tap, yeah, it does. I don't know. No,
And Cascade.
It
I thought
looks
that was.
really
I thought
cool.
that was meant to be the thing about Guinness is the bubbles go down.
I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know, and I feel like I should know that because I
was gonna
have.
say, I feel like you should know that.
I have been to the Guinness storehouse.
Yeah.
In Dublin, which was, if we ever get to leave the country again, you should go check that out.
It's delicious, man.
It's so good, right?
It's really now. I think now I'm getting it. I think back then.
I thought you were gonna say, now I'm an alcoholic.
No, I mean like.
Thank you.
I think I get the appeal. Like there's a thickness to it. There's a heartiness to it, but it's also beery. Like it's not
just-
too.
Yeah, it's not super effervescent, so you're not like. That's why I brought Guinness
Mm.
to a podcast instead of like some.
That is smart. That's
And when you're
smart,
when you're
man.
playing at these venues, and you need a drink,
Would you like another one?
it's hard
Can we
to.
get another one?
Do you want another one?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
grab
I'll
another
have
one.
one more, and that's it. Yeah.
We're doing drinks orders. Yeah, cool.
So what else is new? We're gonna keep rolling.
Keep rolling.
Yeah,
All
we're
right,
gonna,
cool.
gonna keep rolling. You're okay? You
I'm
okay?
great. I'm
Yeah?
having fun. It's good to see you because I
Yeah,
haven't seen
no, it
you
is.
in
Yeah.
maybe 2 years or something. Like,
I'm
Ball?
I'm trying to come out of my shell. I think for 3 years I just put my head down, worked, got off social media.
yeah.
You know, I kind of needed that.
I kind of learned that about you because I listened to, this is, I don't know, might be a bit lame or whatever, but I listened to your episode with Rob Nassif.
Yeah. Yep. Shout out Rob Nasser from the
Yeah.
Healys.
Yeah. We're sitting in his brand new room and, it was last week or the week before and I was just doing chores around the house and I just had the
Cool.
headphones in, just listening away. And it was like, it was really like a wholesome episode. Like I haven't spoken to Rob in ages, but
You've jammed here, right? You've jammed here all the time.
yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, everyone's kind of bumped into him or had some encounter with him, and it's like he's never ever been anything but totally lovely.
Mhm.
And then just hearing you kind of talk about that stuff as well, and like how you just took a break, and like you sounded good, and it was like it was listening to an old friend sound like he was in a good place in his life, and that was.
No, that's really cool.
It was
Yeah.
nice to hear. It was like wholesome. That's like, oh man, it would be cool to come back,
Yeah.
and do another.
Yeah, definitely. And
another hand.
Rob is one of those people. You're one of those people as well that
Oh,
you
thanks.
have an energy about you that elevates people around you.
It's like
And I think that is what is really cool when we hang out.
time is precious, hey.
Yeah, and that too. Yeah.
And vibe is like, that's why I love doing these cover gigs with the Healys and Ash as well. It's like they're nothing but value adding people, and it's like when you get, I don't know, it's like when you hit 30 or something like that, you're like, oh fuck, well, I don't need any more new friends that aren't just GCs. It's like, what's the point? Why bother being around? I've done gigs with people and they're like miserable. It's like you know, like the old saying about jamming with someone, you could be like the world's best drummer or whatever and be a complete dick.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
I would rather have a crap drummer that's on time and like is really lovely to be around.
Yeah.
Or is not Gavin Harrison or whatever. You know. You know.
Yeah. No, and you were so young when I first jammed with you. I think
So-
you were in high school.
I was in year 12.
Year 12.
Yeah.
That was insane. Oh, do you want to pour this? real
Can I pour it for you?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
keep talking. I just want to do a bit of scientific experiment.
Oh, okay. Yeah. check it out.
Observation,
You're going
really.
to see the bubbles.
Look, keep in mind that this one is the extra stout though. So it differs from the Guinness draft cans insofar as that it does not have it's called a widget, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
That might be
little
the
bubble
thing. That might.
That's the little hollow plastic ball that won some kind of Nobel Prize or something for ingenuity.
And what is the purpose of that ball?
It regulates.
Did I pour that really badly? That's like
Yes.
a lot of froth.
You fucked up.
I
buddy.
fucked up. Well,
No,
I
that's-
haven't drank.
That'll settle.
I'm
That'll settle.
kind of,
That's fine.
so, Alex, I've actually been I was sober for almost over a month,
Okay,
and then I had a bit of a drink, and now I'm doing dry July. So
nice.
me and
Well, good on
beer
you.
is not working together quite well.
Well done, though.
That's
You've
cool.
come a long way. You've come a long
Yeah.
way.
I'm all for that. You know, you do you, man.
That was a really bad pour.
That's
Sorry.
okay.
That's a lot of head.
Maybe don't hold it up to the camera because there'll be a lot of beer drinkers that are just
You're going to get annihilated. No,
shaking.
that's all right. That's fine. I'll take that
If
one.
you guys want to talk about Johnny's pouring, head to pouring subreddit.
Oh, this is fun as fuck.
But yeah, what's okay? So the newer thing is I started studying.
Okay.
I'm a mature age student now.
Oh my god, that's so weird to hear because I always look at you as a 17-year-old still. I don't know why.
That's kind of cool.
I know.
Keep that. I like
mean,
that.
It's like timeless, you know.
I'm
You-
a
you run-
17-year-old that got struck with male pattern baldness way too early.
I'm gonna have a sip.
Yeah, go for it.
Have a sip, yeah. Tell me what you think.
The beer has gone bad. The beer is off. No,
Good.
it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I've
it's great.
never really
Well,
been.
just be careful what you're saying, right?
No, I've never really been a stout person, but it's all right.
You've always been rather on the skinny side, though, haven't you, Johnny?
Yeah.
See, I'm so ready to be a dad.
But I think when people can click musically, there's something really special in that. And I'm sure you've hit like those moments in gigs or jam rooms or when you're just
Yeah.
fucking around where you connect and there's something weird that happens in the air. We've talked about this before, and you get goosebumps. You literally get goosebumps when you lock in, and especially a rhythm section that's really powerful together.
Yep.
I still remember we would just us fucking around. We would be able to gel a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I played with a lot of bass players, and you're definitely up there.
I'm definitely one of them.
And you're certainly one of them. Yeah. No, but in terms of like just connecting.
Well,
And-
you know
and-
what? It was funny because the way I remember it, it was like the other guys in the band were like, "Oh, yeah, Peter, our drummer, he can't do it anymore or whatever. He's out." Oh no, I think what happened is he went AWOL or he did something weird. I can't remember. It was so long ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like, "Oh yeah, we're jamming with this new guy who's in the band." All right, cool. So I'll, like I used to carry my bass in a huge case around at school all day and then catch, what did I do? Oh, I'd catch a train into the city and then catch a bus all the way to Murdoch Uni where we jam with my bass.
Mm-hmm.
I'd listen to my Discman and I'd have my CD wallet with me and then play. And then, yeah, it was like, I think I met you. You were just like, "Oh, you're in the band now." Same with Hannah. Like I had no say in it.
So the
It was fucked up.
The
I was like, "Am I not in this band?" I know that I'm 16, but fuck, guys.
I wanted to give people a history lesson. So for Seraphim, our old band, Reagan, a girl named Reagan Derry, I think,
Derry, yep.
was the original singer for Seraphim.
Yeah.
I pretty much just literally crashed the party. I was not involved in like the inception of the band or anything. But Reagan? Oh my God, sorry. Reagan went on to do
Heaps of shit.
a lot of shit, right? She was on TV a lot. I remember
She's had
seeing her on
yeah.
TV a lot. What was it? What was she on?
Not The Voice. The
Well,
something like that.
she was on Australian Idol, and,
That's
and
right, yeah.
Australia's Got Talent, and
That's
she was involved in a duo with, what were they called? I can't remember, but the wife of Kyle Sandilands, and she's like, man, she's a career singer. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, that's her life. Like, she's
remember
and
that?
she's an incredible singer.
Because she got in a bit of not controversy, but because she did a Karnivool cover on Australian Idol.
And Dicko was like, look, if you're going to do a cover, do it with some known band or something like that, right? Or Mark Holden had a problem with it. No, Mark Holden, I think, flamed like that. Because I remember
that, for doing a Karnivool song.
Yeah.
On
it
Australian
was,
Idol. What's the matter?
It was off themata.
Yeah.
I know the one. I should know this song.
I know.
I know the
So
one.
good
That
to
one, yeah.
see.
That one. Oh my god. Sorry.
Sorry, Drew.
No, I've got so much on. But yeah,
It's their biggest, most well-known song.
But how silly was that? To say something like that. But I guess it is.
Oh no, I fucked it. Like I poured that one great. Look, I can do it. Sorry, man.
It is hard.
No, I just I don't know.
Is
I
this
don't know
one
what
for?
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
You want to have a sip of that?
No, I'm still going on this couple of meals. I know I've always been a lager person, just a straight lager. I don't like those fruity flavors. Except there is the Bush Shack Brewery down south do a cola beer. You know,
Yes.
Kirk's cola beer.
I've got it. Some in my fridge.
Oh, that is some of the
Let's go
best
home.
shit. Because it's just cola beer, but it tastes like beer.
The song was actually called Themata.
Yeah. Oh, I know that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I wanted to
I
verify.
told you. That's what
Yeah.
I
No.
said.
Yeah.
I wanted to
You knew
verify.
that. You knew that as well, man. You know.
I just wanted to because my mind plays tricks on me now, so I wanted to be
So I was right.
Yeah, you were right. You're
Yes. See? Thank
But
you
I
very much.
definitely knew that was off the matter.
Right. Oh my god.
I remember Roland Lim, who is the guitarist of Seraphim.
Mm-hmm.
That album just came out, and he showed it to me. He's like, "Yeah, check out this Karnivool," and I was like, "Oh my god!" It's like, he's like, "Listen to the kick sound," and it's like in Perth, like the production was just
Insane.
fucking awesome.
Insane.
I have a memory of Roland and Kenny jamming in the alleyway of Amplifier. I think Roland was out there with an acoustic guitar, and Kenny comes along, and the next thing you know, Roland's jamming, Kenny's singing just in the alleyway of Amplifier. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
If only phones were around back then to capture that
Man,
shit.
you know how
That'd be
you
awesome.
mentioned, that I've got a lot of memories.
Where do we start? I feel like there's not enough.
I almost don't want it, just keep them to ourselves.
I should have bought some of those photos.
What were you thinking of? There's almost too much to talk about. Can we not make it 7 years before you come back on the podcast?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
I mean, where do you begin?
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Mm. No. This is what it's like. Like I get overwhelmed with the amount of things to talk to. I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hearing Themata for the first time was one of those cool moments where you're like, holy shit. And someone from, I think Matt from Discord posted a video of Discord opening for Karnivool at the Foundry, which
In Cannington?
which we played.
wow.
We played that together.
Yeah, I saw COG there.
Yeah, I
During their
remember.
tour.
That's right. Yeah.
Another amazing fucking band.
Isn't that
It's
wild?
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another band that changed my life.
Yeah.
COG.
COG.
The drummer, just watching Lucius on drums.
Yeah.
One of the best
I didn't-
drummers in
for-
Australia, I think.
At that period, they weren't heavy enough for me, not by a long shot. I was listening to Cryptopsy and fucking Immortal and the heaviest shit that I could find. Psychroptic were from Tasmania. They're like, no, that's the Australian band at the moment, Psychroptic. Amazing tech death. Oh, and David Healey as a drummer. Yeah, he's up there for sure. But COG didn't hit me until my early 20s, maybe.
Yeah.
Until I was your age when I was 17, you guys were listening to it. And I was like, fuck yeah. This is so cool.
I think it was the 1998 Big Day Out. Me and a friend, Kelvin, I did a bunch of Tool covers with one of my friends named Kelvin. Shout out Kelvin. But we went to. They were playing one of the side stages, really small. I literally think there were maybe 50 people at best for their slot at like
what,
midday.
98?
Sorry, no, it would have been 2001, 2002.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah, about 2001. This is when their EPs just came out.
That's right.
Just visiting part 1, part
Before
2.
New Normal, right?
Yeah. Yep. And I remember there was only like 50 people up at the barrier and no one else. But I remember as soon as I heard like the opening part of that song Bondi. Have you heard that the old stuff? Like,
Would have done. Yeah.
I had never heard a guitar tone so low.
Yeah.
And Flynn was playing through like 2 amplifiers. And he had 2 different
the stereo
yeah.
signal chain,
two different textures, but
yeah.
he would like be playing on one level, and you go, "Oh, that's as heavy as it's gonna get," and then he would click into another pedal, and you would hear it in stereo,
yeah,
and you would feel like I felt the bass like rumbling my chest, and I was like, "This is a tone that I've never heard before."
Yeah,
like it was that heavy, and I think it was like drop something.
Definitely at least drop D, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was even
C or
potentially lower. I'm not too sure. But it sounded like 4 guitars were playing.
Having stereo, and you can do these really cool things where, I mean, it's such an old trick, but not a lot of people do it. But, you get like a delay pedal or something and you have like a millisecond delay. So it sounds like a little bit off. It sounds like there's 2 kind of people playing it. Mm-hmm. Did you get into Dredge, the band Dredge?
I remember them. Yeah,
do you remember
them? They're very technical.
Well, they're similar kind of deal. Like the singer would play like a lap steel, and the guitarist had just like a stereo sound. I'm pretty sure I saw them at some festival. I can't remember where, but standing in the middle, hearing that stereo image of the guitar is like, oh, so good. It's such a pain in the ass to set up stereo. You need to double everything, right? Yeah.
Well, I used to, because my old Line 6 had the double tracking. The Line 6 Veta.
Oh, yeah.
Had the double tracking. So it would actually take the signal, create a second signal, and offset it a little bit, so it actually create 2 sounds.
Nice.
And then I actually eventually run it through. I've done it at amplifier. I had 2 speakers, a left and a right. So I'd have like one riff like dent just on one, and then kick it into the second one.
Yeah.
And then the 2 together. So dent.
The sound goes like, fuck, really? Stereo?
Yeah.
Fucking guitarists, mate.
Yeah. It was fun. It was good.
Yeah.
So many cool bands back then. Butterfly Effect. That was when I saw them.
I don't think I've ever heard them, or I know about them, but never.
They were a cool band. A lot of cool bands came out like through that era. But I come from the days of like Sunk Loto. Remember Sunk Loto?
Yeah.
Holy, some of the best bands. Like I was in high school listening to that shit.
Sunk Loto.
Loto.
I just imagine dreads. There's dreadlocks in there somewhere, right?
I'm pretty sure this singer had.
Or am I thinking of POD?
No.
I think Sunk Loto had the short surfy blonde dreadlocks, didn't he?
Yeah. And I think that they even had kind of a Deftones-y sound back then. That was when the Deftones were coming in as, one of the popular bands.
Can we all agree how, like, in the sea of all this, no one fucking sounds like Korn?
Yeah.
Like, not one other band.
Not
at all.
Yeah. They changed when I heard Blind, that was my first song I ever heard by Korn. And once again, I didn't know guitars could go that low and that heavy.
Follow the leader.
Yep. And just David
on tape cassette.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the drumming, there was a California hip hop influence in the drumming.
Yeah.
You had Fieldy that was a full on, into hip hop and stuff, and there was
they had Ice Cube on Follow the Leader.
Yeah. That was the Family Values era, where they had Orgy, Korn, Manson.
There's a whole Family Values tribute gig happening in like a couple of weeks, I think.
Oh shit, Limp Bizkit, all those, all the new metal.
Does anyone remember back on the Follow the Leader CD? They had all those like bonus tracks and little feature videos at the end, where Korn and Monkey and Head are jamming in the studio with Steve Vai.
Yeah. Oh, really?
They're all doing the Ibanez type thing.
Oh,
right. Steve Vai in the studio, and they're just having this massive jam. It's fucking good.
I was going through a lot of health problems at that time, and Korn was
soundtrack to your recovery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. Yeah, absolutely. And I do remember seeing Steve Vai jamming with Monkey and Head. And they had it was an extras CD on the Follow the Leader. They had a third CD or something, or maybe it was a double.
I think it's because I think back then the CDs had music tracks, but they also had video.
Yeah, if you put it
some
in,
of them.
into
Yeah,
a computer.
yes.
It's like a
Yeah.
CD-ROM, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
wild. I just remember like plugging the tape in and listening to it with my mum. You know, we'd drive around in the old Commodore, and you know, there's like some of the lyrics are so like, oh god, you know, it's like those first moments where you hear swear words and like sexual references in front of your parents and like your little sister. It's kind of like a weird.
it's a weird feeling, right?
My
Yeah.
dick is bigger than yours.
I'm like, oh fuck, ooh, say what, say what.
Yeah.
And Fred
oh my
Durst
God.
is on there as well.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh
man,
my God.
so
Yeah.
good.
No, Wes from Limp Bizkit was my favorite guy because he was so wacky and out there.
Yeah, I until recently I didn't think anything of him. Right.
Yeah.
Cam, who's I think he's in the Limp Bizkit band. I did the Soundgarden tribute with him a couple of years ago. He's been posting videos on his Instagram of him playing some of these riffs, and it's the precursor to Gent. It's almost like some of these riffs I had no idea they're buried underneath the shit fuckery of Fred Durst and whatever else. Like,
Yeah.
and these riffs, if you strip everything back, you're like, wow, you've come before Periphery, you've come before Textures, like the stuff that the guitar work alone is doing is like
Well, he was doing unique
weird,
stuff like
weird
playing,
and wacky and awesome.
taking off the top strings of his guitar and just playing 4 strings.
Yeah.
And shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you just don't play the other strings?
Yeah, well, I don't think he did, yeah.
Because that wouldn't be cool, Alex.
I'm coming from the guy that's worked in the guitar shop for 8 years.
I
Like,
know.
oh man, can we put like double bass flat wound strings on my daughter's like 3/4 size classical? It's like, why? There's other ways you can do stuff, you know.
See, I grew
Just
up
don't
wanting,
play those 2 strings, and then you can maintain the tension of
Yeah.
the instrument. You won't
Well-
have to mess with the Floyd resonant.
like, I grew up always wanting a 7-string because of Korn.
Yeah,
Never got one, and I remember looking at them going, they look too big for my hands. So I got to the point where I just tuned all the 6 strings low and just
Just
never
low.
use a high string.
They played,
yeah.
They played Ibanez's, right? Custom Ibanez's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even me as a teen, I was like, how do they... Because I remember seeing their hands when they played it.
Wow.
And I was like, the fretboard is... You have to stretch so hard.
It's huge.
To reach
And
the top.
and now look at fretboards like Ormsby guitars, where it's like that wave
fan
it's
fret.
just crazy shit now.
yeah, and 8 strings, and
8 strings?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Holy fuck. I know... can I throw out I think you're a big Devin Townsend fan, aren't you?
yeah.
I fucking... know that album that he did that was really different? The Devin Townsend project?
Yeah,
With
which
that song, Coast.
the
Remember-
Coast.
Yes.
Key.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. That's some wild shit.
I love that album, and I love Ghost as well. Have you heard Ghost?
I love Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
They are fantastic. They are...
No, not Ghost the band. Ghost the album.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think I remember.
But also
the album.
Ghost the band.
No,
No?
not a fan.
Not a fan?
No, fuck
oh,
them.
shit.
No, not fuck them.
I know their imagery's a bit... Yeah.
No, I
Is
for
it
me-
is it the music that...
yeah, it's the music.
Yeah.
It's it's hard. Whenever I like flame a band on like music, it's hard as a musician. I feel like a real prick and a dick when I'm like, nah, that's fucked. I don't like it because of these reasons. But I feel like I've earned the right to be really super opinionated
Yeah,
and
that's fine.
a bastard
You can have an
about
opinion.
music in particular. But
Yeah.
no, for me, it's like I've watched them live and be like, I don't get it. I feel like Principal Skinner,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's the children that are... Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
maybe I am out of touch. No, it's the children that are wrong. That's how I feel watching Ghost. I don't get
I
it.
see
It doesn't.
what-
Do, it's like
What about music, even musically? Because the only thing that appealed to me was that very proggy, melodic sound that kind of ballady, but kind of classic rock sounding, you know?
yeah. Maybe that's why I don't like it.
Exactly, that's probably why you don't, yeah.
You know, like I tell you a cool band that has that like that kind of more vintage vibe. Drab Majesty. I got into them. I think last year. So cool.
What are they
So cool.
What are they called again?
Drab Majesty.
Okay.
It was I think it was the album I listened to the most last year.
Wow.
Modern Mirror. Just
So much good shit.
got
What's-
deluxe gothic. It's all made now. It's a new stuff, but it
Yeah.
harkens back to that dark 80s
Nice.
goth, kind of like Sisters of Mercy and like
Nice.
typo, not even typo negative, but maybe like The Damned a little bit. It's just, and what's cool about it is that the main songwriter, Deb Demure, I think is his stage name.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually a drummer that picked up a guitar, and he learnt and just does all these cool production stuff, and comes from a really weird and non-traditional angle. That he plays shit that you're like, only someone that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing will play it like that because it's incorrect or it's weird. You know, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not traditional or conventional.
I think something special happens when people use the instrument that they don't have a background in necessarily, because they come at it from an angle that's really fresh. And I think, I don't know, it's weird. When you get really good at a certain instrument, it's hard to be naive and childlike about it because you kind of get cynical. You kind of...
you fall back on the shit that you're just, you're good at.
Exactly, yeah. And also you overanalyze what you're doing maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
And like sometimes being a bit childlike and going, well, this might not work, but maybe there's a new thing in that not working. Maybe that can be a thing. You know?
The element of play.
Yeah, exactly. That goes away and you kind of, not play it safe, but you stick to you go the path of least resistance kind. You go with what feels, comfortable and safe, which is not always necessarily the best thing.
You adopt a fixed mindset.
Yeah.
Instead of a growth mindset.
Thanks, Alex. Therapist Alex. Yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah. So like I think that for me it's like always been a battle to remain childlike and just to maybe do things that aren't comfortable, really. Like I really strip back my drum setup, to be super minimal.
You were definitely, what you were doing with the drums was the first that I'd ever seen anyone do. Like, do you know what? This is really cool. You were the first person I think I've ever seen, or at least I was aware of, do a rim shot on the snare.
Oh no! Wow!
And I hated it at first. I was like, why is every time Daryl hits the snare, it's ear piercing and it's so loud. And I just like, it wasn't like a dish, dish, dish like all the other drummers I'd jam with before then. And then it's like, oh, why doesn't every drum sound this good? Like, I remember you rim shot so much that you had to get the rim of your drum repaired because it dipped.
Yeah.
It dipped down.
Literally after one show, it would be concave. Like, it would be tipping down because I'd lean into every shot like super hard. Yeah.
I love that so much. And it's so, no wonder you love Lucius Borich so much. Like,
yeah,
it's just
one of
like
my favorite drummers. Yeah.
Rim shotting just sounds. You know what it is? The only thing that is better than the sound of a rim shot is the feel of a rim shot.
You feel it, right? You feel the wind of it, right?
Because and it's not guaranteed each time, right? So if you're drumming a lot, you're like gluck, gluck, and then gluck. You miss like 2 of every 10,
exactly,
or more.
It's like missing a string when you're playing. Like, just like that bung note.
But when
it's more like a harmonic, right? Like sometimes you hit it super, and then sometimes you get a dud and you miss it. Like, and I think that's part of that risk that I really like about leaning into a rim shot and hearing it. It cracks like a whip.
Oh
right?
my god!
Fucking
and it just you can feel the sound wave just penetrate your soul.
Oh, totally. And I
kill you.
I would do momentarily, weird things like flip the play the sticks reverse.
Yeah, so it's louder.
Yeah, so it's even louder. So
man. Why is my hearing so fucked?
I wonder why I have tinnitus. Yeah.
But Daryl's only my second favorite drummer. Mike Murphy's number 1 because I met him first.
Oh yeah.
No, I'll pay that. He's another great drummer. Another great drummer.
I met him independently when I was a teenager through a different friend, and it was like, yeah, man, you should hear Mike play. He plays like all the Danny Carey stuff.
Oh, he can play full fucking hands down. So we're actually working on a
And then I saw him in Boys, when I was like, this doesn't sound like Tool.
I know what happened to all the metal drummers going indie.
Yeah. I don't know. Wanting a challenge, I guess. Yeah. You got a cover thing.
With Mike, me and Mike and a few other guys have been working on a 9 Inch Nails thing.
Cool.
It started off as a Manson thing. But
I
then,
heard that on the podcast. 'cause
Yeah,
it was
but
like
then that had.
it's
to
not
be,
Rob Zombie. It's not Rob Zombie.
No, that got pulled because of obvious reasons.
Manson.
Yeah.
Oh, because of the removal of the ribs to suck himself off.
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing?
I couldn't. I didn't want to go through with
That myth has just plagued him for decades, hasn't it? You didn't want to do that live on stage.
No, not for that. Not that reason. But yeah, no, we're working on a Nine Inch Nails thing at the moment.
Didn't he eat like a puppy? Or that was the story that he
ate a puppy.
He killed a puppy and threw it into the front row of the audience. I remember being a kid and hearing that myth as well.
Yeah, I don't think that was any of that was true.
I don't think it was true.
I don't know.
Well, Ozzy Osbourne did bite the head off a bat and throw it in the crowd.
That's
true.
I think it was kind of that something of that ilk.
I heard that he did that in a meeting with a record label, or like during a film shoot or something.
Who?
Thingy.
The Ozzy or the Manson one?
Ozzy.
No, it was apparently on stage.
On stage, he bit
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, well, the
Yeah,
story...
someone he thought it was a
rubber
bat
thing.
or
Oh,
something.
that's
yeah.
right. That's right.
It was
yeah.
real.
And go and get a rabies shot.
Yeah.
Coming from the guy that used to snort ants, but I don't know.
Yeah, snorting ant. I think like eating the head of a dead bat is definitely an upgrade from snorting ants.
And there was never any outbreak of COVID.
Oh.
I'm not going there.
It would have been something else. Yeah.
Marilyn Manson, once he sucked himself off, he got COVID. But I heard that.
Imagine if the cure for COVID was Manson sucking you off.
That'd be all right. It's better than a needle in the arm, isn't it? Being sucked off.
Oh no. Oh, I have a feeling we should end this.
I don't know where you were going with that one.
I don't know either. But it's good to see you, man.
Likewise. Are we wrapping this up? Do you wanna-
I don't know. We can keep going if you want. I'm just worried that we'll run out of battery. That should be all right though for another 10 minutes.
We'll keep
But
going.
I'm trying not to leave things too long. Like some of the catch ups I've been having, like when I count the years, it's like wow, like 5 years has just gone by super quickly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're just in our bubbles and stuff like that. So I'm trying to reach out and get that old crew just all mingling and back
I was
together.
going to say, because you're still working at the music shop. Can we say?
Yeah, very little. Yeah, I was gonna say because
I ran into you. When was it?
yeah,
Mid last year,
Yeah,
sometime.
because I was like, oh, I only saw Johnny not long ago, and I was like, oh fuck, that was like 9 months ago. That was pre-COVID. But no, I started to say this before, but I'm studying graphic design now at TAFE.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Semester 1 is over, so it's literally the only thing not music related that I've done ever in my life, almost.
I was gonna give you a tip because I studied graphic design for 2-3 years.
Yeah,
Once you graduate, forget everything you've learnt because it all changes.
yeah,
the whole industry will be changed by the time
it'll be
you finish.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll be different as well, Johnny. I will have grown with the industry.
It's always useful having a foundation, right?
Oh man, you know what the beauty of it is? Almost anything in life that's like that artistically, I can bring it back to music somehow.
Yep.
And it's everything. It's like I almost know that music's just my choice of medium, but whatever it is that's in me that wants to create music is the same part of me that loves creating like visual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just getting to do that. What you're talking about, getting out of your comfort zone and shit, that's the same. It's like I know exactly what I want to design and what I want to do. I just don't have the skills to do it. But I need to just like hang in there and like, learn smoke on the water on the laptop, like Photoshop.
Exactly.
I got to like just take the baby steps and learn how to do stuff.
And I think it's good for. It's good for you.
Man, I did music. You did music. You guys did music at TAFE, right?
Both of us did the.
I did Cert 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
did. We did the advanced diploma.
I think I did all of them.
Yeah.
I didn't pass
every
all
single
of them.
TAFE
I think I did all of it, all the music.
Because I enrolled in TAFE in music as a 16-year-old straight after high school, and I just left. Like I just bailed on it, and I was like, I look back on it, and I was like, why did I do that? That was really stupid. But I just wasn't getting what I wanted out of it, and I was like, well, I'll just leave. And I was like, I should have really seen it through And now being one of these annoying mature age students, I'm like getting all the notes down and, I'm actually enjoying studying for literally the first time in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally see what you mean.
We've said that before. Is studying later in life is you probably retain more, and you probably actually put more effort into the whole learning than you would when you're much younger.
Well, I just think you appreciate it more, and I think
I know what it is for me.
Yeah,
and it's something that it's affected me greatly, and it's just the growth mindset.
Yeah,
I feel kind of like a Christian, trying to tell people about God when I mention this kind of stuff, but I realized that my entire childhood I was in a fixed mindset, and I was just I'd fall back on what I was good at, and then anything that was a new challenge, I didn't have the discipline to work hard enough to get the results and do stuff. And then once it's kind of I read this book by Carol Dweck. It's called Mindset. Highly recommend for anyone that feels like they're in a rut or they're not just getting anywhere, and they procrastinate heaps, and they come up against issues and stuff with developing themselves. But I read this thing where it was in the book it says children can learn this fixed mindset and stay in it. And once these kids have this, it's you fail at a test because you didn't work hard enough, you didn't study enough for it. So you failed a test. I failed, therefore I am a failure. And that's what I carried with me up till last year. It's wild. I was holy shit. I didn't uni just freaked the fuck out of me. I was there's no way. I don't want to do anything at uni, but I'm too dumb to do that. I can't do that. So stay in my lane, stay in music, stay what I know that I'm good at. And then
fucking rock and roll, man. That's all you're good at.
Yeah.
I see what you mean though. I think a lot of us carry trauma for so long that we don't know is really
it's
there.
Habits as well, man. It's bad habits.
It's bad habits, but a lot of it as well is things that you never thought would affect you, things that happened as a child or in primary school or that time that you were laughed at, and it really, you carry that and it affects how you approach things as an adult.
Totally.
So much of my walls are literally fear of things happening again because I failed at it before, or I made an ass out of myself, or things like that. But it's amazing how much we carry on our shoulders subconsciously.
Yeah.
And I think things like addiction, things like how we treat our bodies, and how much we love ourselves and are okay with ourselves is a lot of it stems from things that happened in the past.
And you know what? They
that
might
we
even
haven't made peace with.
They might even be encounters or things that have happened to you and have had this adverse effect on you, but you've actually forgotten the moment of impact.
Yep.
And you just carried
the scar,
the emotion of it.
Yeah, you carry the trauma of it, but you actually forget the whole source of it, where it came from. Yeah.
Oh, I remember. I've got a little black book. I was writing all down the names.
That's
and all
hot.
the moments.
Yeah.
What else do you document?
But yeah, it's I think everyone's 30s, they unpack a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And learn. I'm a bit of a late bloomer. I feel like I'm like you always feel like you're playing catch up.
Yeah.
I've always felt like I'm playing catch up, relationship wise, financially, work wise. I've always felt like I'm late to things. But the one thing though that I am proud about is that when I eventually do it, it's done with passion and I go all in.
Yeah. And
try and do it the right way. But I don't know. I think I don't want to become more fearful, and it's easy to become fearful, And
some of it, you need that, and some of it you just need to go, fuck it, let's just
exactly, yeah.
Let's just do it. Let's just have the discipline to start it, and just carry on with it. Commit to whatever it is, and also
I was just gonna say that's exactly how I feel about doing my taxes right now. I want to wait till I'm ready to do it, until I can get it right.
And you know what? Look, dude, take it from me. Just get an accountant. Get them to do it.
I know, yeah, I keep thinking that.
Pay the $200. It's so worth it.
Yeah, but see, my tax will probably be $200, so then I'll just take all of my tax return and give it to them, and I get nothing, so.
But then it's a tax write-off the next year.
Yeah.
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 Let's not talk about tax because
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, like, being a late bloomer's fine. I think it's never too late to get back into things.
no,
You know, things happen in cycles.
you
know.
can. That's the beauty of it. You can start over.
Yeah, anytime you want.
It sucks it's a little bit hard to talk about it because it seems really like it's almost a bit passé. Like when you say it's like, every new day is different. It's like, yeah, well, that's fucking great, but I've got clinical depression. It doesn't work that way, dickhead. So everyone needs to find their own rhythm and their own way. But I think
Are we still talking about doing my taxes here? Because
yeah.
exactly what I'm feeling.
I would love to not do your taxes. Yeah, it's funny. It's growing up, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. But
I always wonder, like, it feels like time has, obviously people think, time has passed. A lot of time has passed since, like, we've all first knew each other. But it also feels like time hasn't passed.
no, I think certain people are timeless in your life. Like, I know some people that I see them literally in like 5-year gaps, and each time we meet, it's the same.
It's like me and you.
Yeah, yeah. But that was one thing I wanted to say before we wrap up is that let's not. I'm trying to be more consistent with catching up with people and stuff like that. Because I've been in the hole for. I'll admit, it's hard for me to admit, but I have been in the hole for 3 years, and I feel like I haven't been there as much for certain people. I deleted Facebook. I got off all that stuff. I feel like I'm a bit untethered. I'm on the outside a bit, but I want to come back in and like.
That's good. I don't know. Do you want to?
Well, that's a good question.
Just
like,
playing devil's advocate as someone that hasn't unplugged from Facebook.
Yeah.
Only like by sheer necessity of being in bands and stuff and needing to promote stuff.
No, not the Facebook part, but I mean the staying in touch part.
Oh yeah,
That's what I want to
But
get
can that be
better
done
at,
outside of Facebook these
It
days?
can. I think it can.
Yeah.
I think it can. And I've had
if the effort is made.
exactly. If you make the effort, then the cool people will
Yeah.
hit you back up. And,
It is weird. I think
yeah.
like that sometimes. Like, why don't I hang out with these fucking awesome people that I have as friends?
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's a weeknight or whatever. I mean, a lot of time I'm actually just I'm working on like Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays and jamming and also that shit. And then it's like in the school nights, it's like, I'll just stay inside.
It really does feel like you two used to date like 10 years ago and you're just catching up again. Like, can we make this work again? Can we make it work?
What do you think, folks? Have we got what it takes?
I think it's an important thing. I don't know whether it's the COVID thing or getting older, but yeah, I want to
Both.
catch up with people more.
I reckon it's both of those things.
I know. I just want to be there more, I think, because fuck all happens when you just sit at home, as comfortable as I got, and I think I kind of needed that anyway.
Yeah.
That break away from music because I was living, I've said this before, living one identity for too long where I was like, I just play drums in the band. That's all I do. And it kind of, I think it stunted my growth a lot as a person. And now I'm finally like getting out and learning how to be a real boy.
You got to hustle, man.
I know. I got to get back into it. But
Good, do it, leave it, go. I don't want any part of it.
Johnny's
leave
over
me
it.
alone.
Hey, before you close out, before you close me out the music.
Yeah.
Speaking of holes, so got a video clip called Sorrow Tar coming out.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's almost done.
Okay.
That song is literally about depression and what we're talking about. So check it out once it's out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Do
you have anything else you want to plug? Any socials, anything?
Yep.
Any shows coming up as well?
AlexCanion.com. You can see all the things I've done, voiceovers, all the things that I've tried to do to hustle in this crazy thing that we call life.
Your show has been rescheduled? Yeah?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, the Void, you know what? I'm not even going to say the date. Don't worry about it. It's in August. I think it's August 20. Oh, yes.
Yeah, cool.
It's August 20. We're also going to be doing an online show. I think September 5 is the
like a live stream
premiere date for that.
Ooh,
yeah.
Oh wow.
That's going to be a cool. Yeah.
Okay, so that's called like a voyage through time.
Voyage through time. Yep.
September 5th. That will be live streamed through your website.
Yeah. So through the power of the internet in some way,
nice,
shape or form.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and so my debut EP will be called Birthmark. And that'll be available in the next couple of months, I reckon.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming and giving
Thanks
us
for
your
having me.
time.
This is really fun.
This has been really fun. It's been like a therapy session plus a reunion.
Sorry, everyone.
All of that. But yeah, let's make it a thing. Yeah, we have an open door policy. Always come back.
Has anyone ever been on more than 3 times?
Yeah, I think we've had 4 or 5 time people. So
Okay, well, I'll have to come back.
Hey, but Alex, you did get the cherry pop, so
I'm very gracious, but also extremely competitive.
that's amazing. Thank you, Alex.
Cheers, guys.
I love
Thank you.
Cheers, everyone.
cheers.